Hey Scruffy, how you doing? I'll open the door. So we have meaty pate with real ocean whitefish and kibble. Okay. Okay, that's different. Scruffy went far away. Not sure why he did that. Okay, so I'll put on the glove over here. It's a little easier for me because I can use the table to help get the glove on. Okay, so today is supposed to be a lot hotter than it actually got today. I think it's still hotter than yesterday. I don't know, maybe about the same. But I was expecting it, or yeah, the forecast was it was supposed to jump up a lot more today. And then for the next at least 5 days, if not more, it's just going to keep getting hotter and hotter. So today I figured it'd be my last chance possibly to go for a run, particularly a long run, because it's after this it's probably going to be too hot, so we'll see. Even now I'm concerned it's probably still too hot, but I think I'm going to give it a shot because yeah, it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So after I feed Scruffy, I'm going to try for my run. Actually, I had a headache for the past couple days. So I think I was drinking more caffeine a few days back, and then I went back to what I normally drink, or a little less than what I normally drink, and I might be suffering from withdrawal right now. I'm not sure. Could be something unrelated, but that's my best guess right now. And this has happened to me before, where yeah, I change my caffeine intake, and yes, suddenly I don't feel so great. Most frequently, it happens when I need to travel. So I'll have my normal caffeine routine, or to drink what I normally drink, and then when I go on a trip, obviously my schedule completely changes, and my diet completely changes, and often yeah, I'm not able to uh, consume things in the same amount. So usually it causes me to go into withdrawal, and so yeah, it's happened to me a bunch of times on trips. So I think I remember, let's see, when I went to Singapore, I think I had a headache for I don't know how long. It was I think I was there a week, and I had the headache for most of the week. It was yeah, kind of miserable. Because I think yeah, the only thing I was drinking there was water. occasional tea, maybe. But yeah, not enough tea to get my caffeine fix. It's really hot there too, so didn't really want to drink tea. I remember there was on one of my excursions. It was. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't Singapore. It was Taipei. Because I mentioned Singapore is because yeah, I think I had the headache actually throughout I think the whole trip, and I wasn't able to do anything until my next stop was in Singapore, and then finally in Singapore I was able to do something about it. So yeah, in Taipei, yeah, it was also hot, really hot, and yeah, I wasn't drinking enough caffeine to compensate. And yeah, so I think I was suffering through withdrawal, had a headache much of the time, and because it was so hot, I didn't want to drink tea. And I remember, yeah, one of my excursions left the city to go into the mountains, and there's like an old, I think it's a former mining town or something like that, and kind of turned into like a tourist trap type thing, but it's interesting place to see. So anyway, but yeah, you had to take it was yeah kind of way the heck out there. So had to take different modes of transportation to get there, and I remember on a bus. I think leaving. So going there, I got there one way, and then leaving, I went there another way. I think the bus stop was next to a 7-Eleven, and it was so hot, I was really tempted to go in and buy a Slurpee. Yeah, so Taiwan's interesting for the trivia for this piece of trivia. So there's like a 7-Eleven everywhere. So on every street there seems to be a 7-Eleven, and on some streets there are multiple 7-Elevens, like one on each side of the street, sort of like how we have multiple Starbucks here. It's really interesting. So apparently it's 7-Eleven in Taiwan and some other Asian countries. It's kind of a you live your full life. You can live your full life at 7-Eleven because they also have. I think you like pay your bills there. So I think yeah, you do like you pay your utility bills and I think a lot of like basic living services actually are available through 7-Eleven. So it's not just a fast food convenience store. As it is in the States. So that was fairly interesting. So anyway, yeah, I think I wanted some ibuprofen for my headache. Seems to help me. What is it? The Tylenol. That doesn't seem to help me, but the ibuprofen does. Not sure why that is, but I think it was not possible. I don't think it's allowed in Taiwan. You can't buy it all over the counter, ibuprofen. And then when I got to Singapore, it's not exactly over the counter either. You actually have to talk to a pharmacist and get their permission to buy the ibuprofen. But fortunately, yeah, I don't have to see a doctor or anything, so I just was able to go into a store, ask to see their pharmacist, and get permission to buy ibuprofen, and then they sell it to you. And so that solved my problem for my trip. So But since then, I actually try to completely cut my caffeine intake before I leave for my trip, so I go through the withdrawal um, before I'm actually on my trip. That way I don't have to deal with it. Okay, I think Scruffy's ready for food. Okay, here's your food. This week I didn't really mean to change my caffeine or intake or anything like that. It just, I guess, kind of happened. I'm kind of stressed out this week. Things haven't been going so great the past couple weeks for me, so I'm extra stressed out. And so I think earlier this week I ended up, I think I was having trouble sleeping, and then when I was waking up, I was having trouble staying awake, and so I was taking more caffeine. Probably in turn had made it harder for me to sleep. So I got into a vicious cycle. Oops. Camera just zoomed in without me touching it. Stupid thing. Fly swimming around Scruffy. That fly was in the food a moment ago. Fly is on my knee. So let's see, I came out with the water. I think Scruffy was at the railing. I think I tried to zoom in and the camera stopped on me, stupid thing. And then, we started it. I didn't go all the way back in. I actually backed up to the door just to see what he'd do, since he psyched me out yesterday. He tricked me. And he actually did come to the water, but he didn't drink. So as I stood there, he didn't drink. And he looked like he wanted to drink, but it looked like he was waiting for me to leave or something, because he didn't want to drink with me there. So the moment I went inside, then he started drinking. So I guess he wanted his privacy, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at him through the window, but he waited for me to go back in before he actually took a drink. He came to the water bowl, but he didn't drink. That's weird. Weird cat. And then after he came up to the door, instead of walking away, he came all the way up to the door and looked at me. I didn't know what to do with him. I think, again, once it's weird, so because he doesn't like to approach when I'm out here, and then after I go inside, then he approaches. Doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't know what to do with him, so I was just planning to bring out the water, so rather than making him sit there waiting for me to do something, I ended up just closing the blinds, going back to what I was doing. Yeah, so anyway, the forecast still has the weather heating up pretty badly. So more. I guess I think the whole country, or like half the country, is like going through a heat wave or something like that. So, because I'm seeing stuff all over, not just my region. And so it sounds like everyone's on power conservation mode, and there are requests to not use power at peak hours, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty stupid too. And I actually saw something I thought it was inflammatory. So if you, it was one of those smart thermostats. So I saw a picture on the internet. So, basically, the smart thermostat had a text message on it saying you're not allowed to change the thermostat because they've decided that they're going to follow the power conservation guidelines, and they're not going to let you turn on your AC basically. And I thought that was infuriating because, so one, I'm glad I don't have one of those, but two, so when my dad was ill or in hospice with his cancer, he was here at home, and we had to keep the house livable, and so it meant turning on the AC in the summer and turning on the furnace in the winter, and we used a lot of energy, but we had to because he would basically probably die prematurely if we didn't keep the temperature well regulated in the house. And I I think it's atrocious that some thermostat company thinks they can decide better than you about whether you need the change in temperature or not. Because if they had that attitude when my dad was under hospice, I don't know if he would have made it. We had some really bad weather. I think that's why I started looking into emergency generators and um, a lot of emergency things because back then I remember the power grid was also under stress. They haven't learned anything. These problems happen, every year or every few years. Instead of making plans to solve the problems, they keep doubling down on the stupid things that they keep doing that makes it worse. So anyway, I'm never buying a smart thermostat. I'm gonna move the balls. Scruffy got most of the food today. Oh, he's doing a slightly better job cleaning the bowl today. He's going for the golf ball too. His appetite might be finally starting to come back a little bit. He doesn't actually seem that hungry still. Hungrier than he was when he was getting all the unlimited food, but I think not as hungry as he used to be before that. Okay, looks like Scruffy's done. He stopped there. So if he goes into the table, that's where the container of kibble was. I think it's closed now. I checked it yesterday or the day before, and it's still closed as far as I know. Doesn't look like the raccoon or whoever opened it did it again. Okay, folks, I'm gonna keep going. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.